Hello everyone, it's Freedom Dove again. I just wanted to do a follow-up on my first video about the Inergy Apex, and I just wanted to show you how it works, and we're gonna do a run through. I've already actually fully charged it and then ran my 12-volt refrigerator off of it for 24 hours, and it did really well. And then I ran my heating pad off of it for a little while, and then I recharged it, so now it's fully charged again. And I wanted to actually cook a pot of beans with my Instant Pot with it and see how well that goes. So I'm going to turn it on now to the right, so that activates everything, and you can hear the fan come on probably. And I just have beans and water in here, and I am making homemade beans for refried beans. I make my own refried beans, and I start from scratch using dried beans, and I don't soak them, so it actually takes quite a while in the Instant Pot, whereas most people might not cook it that long, but that's because they're pre-soaking their beans, and I don't bother with that because I don't feel that there is a need for it. And so I'm going to plug her in. Alrighty. And I can do a separate review on the Instant Pot at some point if somebody wants me to, but for right now I'm just gonna do what I know to do. This is the mini. I actually have the 6-quart in my house, and that's what I normally make my beans in, but I just did a half of a recipe for this pot. And so, and the buttons are actually a little bit different on this one. Okay, on the Instant Pot, the keep warm function comes on automatically, and so I turn that off because I don't want it to go into keep warm when it's done cooking. So now it's on. I've set it for 50 minutes, and I'm going to set my timer here. I don't know if you can see that. Just for the sake of knowing how long everything's going to take and all that, just being scientific here. Alright. Show you what's going on here. Uh-oh. There's my timer button. You see that? Probably can't hear me now. Sorry, I've got my microphone on facing the front, so you may not be able to hear me. But it's 98% already. It's already drawn it down. It's pulling 691 watts. So it is really testing the limits of this thing right now. Well, it's actually not even as high as it can go. Like I said, it's a 1500 watt inverter, so that's actually not even as high as it will go. So it's fine. But it will stay up on this peak wattage pretty much until this thing comes to pressure. So this is a pretty good test of the unit, because I'm going to be using it for a good, hour, because it takes probably 15 minutes or so to come up to pressure, and then the 50 minutes will kick in. So this is going to be running for a while. So I will get back to you later. Alright guys, here we are. It is 27 minutes later. The Apex is pulling 7 watts now instead of 600 and some. The pressure cooker has been up to pressure for about 7 minutes or so, and you can see that it pulled it down to 76 or 77% during the time it took to come up to pressure. So that's quite a bit. It pulled it down quite a bit. And now I've got to go for 42 more minutes until this thing's done, but I'm pretty sure it'll be fine because you can see it's pulling hardly anything right now. And I assure you that it's working. It's up to pressure. The pin's popped up. It's on sealing. Timer's going down. It's counting down. It started at 50 minutes. So I think it's going to work, and I'll probably have power left over to do something else. I may even be able to plug the fridge into it, but I've already ran through a test with a 24-hour test, and it did just fine. And so I'm probably going to just charge it all the way back up and then plug the refrigerator back into it, and then possibly do a video about the refrigerator running on the Apex. But so far so good. I'm happy with the Apex very much, and I will probably do another little clip when it's all done, and I'll show you how much battery it took. Okay? See ya. Alright, so you can see how it's going through cycles. So right now it's pulling 15 watts, and it's got the discharge with the arrow pointing that way. That means it's discharging. And so it's just cycling through. It hasn't gone above 19 watts. So you can see it just going up and down. But here in a minute or so, it's going to drop back down to that 7 watts. And that's just the nature of a pressure cooker. It just does that. When it's come to full pressure, it once in a while has to cycle through and use a little bit more energy. And then sometimes it just sits there and pulls hardly anything. So I just wanted to show you that. See you in a bit. Okay guys, I stand corrected. You can see he's gone up to 23 watts, and I actually saw it spike to 31 just for a split second. But yeah, it's 24, 23. So it's just doing its thing. It's going up and down as it see fits to run my pressure cooker. It's been 48 minutes, and there is 21 minutes left on the pressure cooker. So I just wanted to point that out, that it showed me wrong. It did go above 20. Alright. See you in a bit. I know I keep saying that, but... Okay guys, my Instant Pot just shut off. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. You can see that it's off, and that pin is going to stay up, and I'll let it do a natural release. That's what you have to do with beans, so I'm just going to let it release on its own. I'm not going to do a quick release. If you know anything about pressure cookers, you know what I'm talking about. And for some reason, it's still pulling 19 watts, and it just shut off, so I'm not sure why, but this is the main reason why I'm going to unplug the Instant Pot when it's done, because I don't need it to be plugged in anymore. And so let's see what happens. Sorry, my tripod's a little wonky. You'll have to bear with me. Alright, it's still discharging. It must be hot in there. It's probably cooling right now, even more than normal. I mean, because that fan is always running, so I'm not sure. Let's see. The fan's been going the whole time. The unit doesn't feel hot at all. But you can see there's nothing plugged in. And it's still discharging. But it's at 70% or 69. So that's not bad for using a pressure cooker for an hour and 10 minutes. I should probably stop that. Uh-oh. Hold on. Stop. So yeah. That was quite a while, and it's still got a good amount of power left. So I'm happy with that. I don't understand why it's still running, but like I said, it might just need a cool down period, and it's got to use the fan a little bit more right now. So I'm not sure. But that is my test of using the Instant Pot on the Inergy Apex. And I hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, hopefully I can do a refrigerator run for you. That would probably be my next video if I do another one. Alright. Oh, and there was one other thing. There was several times when it was still running, when the Instant Pot was still running, that this did jump back up to what it was when it first turned on. So like 680 watts or something like that. It did, like, I saw it the first time at 11-minute mark when it had 11 minutes left, and then close to the end it did it again. It would jump back up and stay there for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then it'd come back down here. So it does fluctuate quite a bit, and so you should probably expect that if you're using a pressure cooker on the Apex. Alright, talk to you later, guys. Alright guys, it has been 15 minutes since I unplugged the Instant Pot, and it's still pulling 19 watts, and so that's 9 watts more than when I initially turned on the unit and turned on the inverter, because it was only pulling 10 watts. You can see that in the first video that I posted when I first turned it on. And so I'm guessing, again, that it's just a little warm in there, and that's why it's pulling the extra 9 watts, because it should be only pulling about 10 watts just to have it on and have the inverter on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now because I'm done with it, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Okay, see you later, guys.